So firstly, the question that I chose was, explain with at least 2 examples how source documents are translated to business transactions. Firstly, source documents are essential parts of bookkeeping as they provide evidence that a transaction has occurred. Ultimately, source documents are needed to analyze our financial statements like profit or loss and financial position to determine whether the company is doing well or close to bankruptcy. So my first example of a source document is on the 11th March 2021. Our company, Cat Private Limited, had received defective goods, which were 24 units of computers that were wrongly specified, and had sent it back to the supplier, MedTech Private Limited. In the source document shown, Cat had requested for a credit note from MedTech. In the next source document, we received the credit note from MedTech Private Limited, reducing the amount of money we must pay them back. Hence, the accounts affected are accounts payable from MedTech and our inventory. Due to the defected goods, we need to deduct $14,400 from the accounts payable and inventory. Thus, accounts payable will be placed in debit because there's a reduction in liability, and inventory will be placed in credit because we are deducting from an asset. My next example is on the 16th March 2021. Our company, Cat Private Limited, had sent an invoice to our customer, Castle Private Limited, about their purchase of 20 computers, which cost $20,000 in total. The source document also shows that the cost of goods sold is $14,000. Hence, the accounts affected are accounts receivable from Castle and sales revenue because Castle has to pay us $20,000 for the purchase. Thus, accounts receivable will be placed in debit because it is an asset receiving $20,000, and our sales revenue will be placed in credit as there is an increase in revenue. Moreover, our cost of sales and inventory would be affected because our inventory had decreased due to the purchase of the 20 computers. Hence, cost of sales will be placed in debit amounting to $14,000 because it is an expense, and inventory will be placed in credit because there is a reduction in assets. And lastly, on the 22 March 2021, one last example is a remittance advice, meaning proof of payment document sent by a customer to a business. Specifically, Castle Private Limited paying our company Cat Private Limited $9,800 through a check. Hence, the accounts affected are cash and accounts payable from Castle. Cash will be placed in debit because there is an increase in asset, and accounts payable will be placed in credit because there's a decrease in asset. So moving on to Naomi.
So for my question, it is to explain and demonstrate at least 2 usefulness of the ABSS accounting software in doing accounting. So first of all, it is very quick and efficient when recording transactions as it produces the results immediately. So for example, once you record a journal entry in the general journal, they automatically produce the profit and loss statement, financial position, trial balance, and more. And secondly, it also prevents a lot of human errors when recording transactions because, for example, we made an error in recording one of the journal entries where we accidentally typed in the wrong balance. However, once we amended the balance, the software automatically configures the new financial position and more. So it reduces a lot of human errors when making mistakes, when we make mistakes. So here are the 2 examples. So over here, you can see that I'm just using one of the examples where our company buys inventory, so our inventory debits and then our cash will ultimately credit. This shows that it is very easy, and the accounting software has a very easy interface to use. And it's very quick and efficient. As you can see, our balance is already produced in here. Yes, on the fifth entry. Next. Let's say if you want to edit, and instead of putting our balance as 3,000, we put it as 30,000. the new balance is automatically corrected. And there will be a new financial position showcased with the new balances from the changes of the general journal. So yes, that's all. Thank you.